In this video, we'll solve percent problems using the percentage formula. The percentage formula, P equals RB, guides you to solve percent problems when numbers replace the letters. The formula can take three forms depending on which part you want to find. To find the portion, we use P equals RB. To find the base, use B equals P divided by R. And to find the rate, use R equals P over B. To use the percentage formula to solve percentage problems, first, identify the two known values and one unknown value. Second, choose the appropriate percentage formula for finding the unknown value. Third, substitute the known values into the formula. The rate, use the decimal or fractional equivalent of the percent. Fourth, perform the calculation indicated by the formula. And fifth, interpret the result. If finding the rate, convert decimal or fractional equivalents of the rate to a percent. So here are some examples. In fact, the rest of this unit is going to be examples. So we start with the question, 20% of 400 is what number? Well, we have 20% of 400. This is obviously the rate here, and this has to be the base. Is what number we're looking for the portion. So I will write 20% as suggested as a fraction or a decimal. I could write it as 0.2 or I could write it as 1/5, which I find a little easier to work with. Of 400, that's 1/5 times 400. And this is equal to P. So I just multiply 1/5 by 400. That's the same as dividing 400 by 5, and that's 80. 20% of what number is 80? Well, 20%, that's going to be our rate, is 80. That's going to be our portion. And finally, what number is our base? We want to find the base. So to use that, we use the formula B equals P over R. Okay, so that's 80 over 1/5. And remember that if we are dividing by a fraction, we can multiply by its reciprocal. So that's 80 times 5 over 1, which is just 80 times 5, which is 400. You may notice that we are doing the same problem from different perspectives here. And we're going to do the same thing again here. 80 is what percent of 400? This is our portion. This is our base. And we're looking for our rate. So we use R equals P over B, which is 80 over 400, which is 1/5. So R equals 1/5, and we change that to a percentage, which is 20%. These next problems are a little more complicated. We've got some word problems to work with here. During a special one-day sale, 600 customers bought the on-sale pizza. Of these customers, 20% used coupons. The manager will run the sale again if more than 100 coupons were used. Should she run the sale again? So, first off, what we know, 600 customers total bought the pizza. That is our base. And 20% used coupons. 20% is obviously our rate. What we want to know is if more than 100 coupons were used. So we need to figure out the portion that used coupons. P equals RB, which is 20% or 1/5 times 600, which is 120. 120 coupons were used. she should run the sale again. Next, Stan sets aside 15% of his weekly income for rent. If he sets aside $150 each week, what is his weekly income? Well, what do we have here? We've got 15%. That's clearly the rate. 15% of his weekly income. That means that the weekly income is the base. And he sets aside $150, which is 15% of his weekly income, so that has to be the portion. We're looking for the base, so that's P over R, which is 150 divided by 15%. We can write that as 0.15. Plug this into my calculator. $150 divided by 0.15 is $1,000 per week. For our last example, if 20 cars were sold from a lot that had 50 cars, what percent of the cars were sold? What percent? That means we're looking for the rate. There were originally 50 cars. That's our base. 20 cars is our portion. So rate equals portion over base, which is 20 over 50, which I can make 2/5. And then I just divide 2 by 5 to get a decimal equivalent, which is 0.4, and that's 40%.